It's time. The season is here. The NFL season officially starts this Thursday.
Hey, okay.
This will be an annual video. Obviously, I'm a Cowboy fan, so I will go over Dallas Cowboys schedule, season, and have my predictions. Record prediction, postseason prediction, hopefully conference prediction and Super Bowl prediction, as well as give out some awards, how I think each player will play, and ultimately if we will have a successful season for the Dallas Cowboys in 2023. And I will also preview the NFC East, not too deep, just where I think the standings will end at the end of the season. So first things first, the Dallas Cowboys. If you listen to my podcast, the link will be below in the description. It's called the More Than a Fan podcast. Me and my co-host Sonny, I'm a Cowboy fan. He's the Buffalo Bills fan, and we go NFL news every week. We drop one podcast per week. So if you're into NFL podcasts, go ahead and subscribe to that channel. Like I said, the description will be below. But for the Dallas Cowboys, I had two records, a more realistic record, and then my second record I gave the Dallas Cowboys was if everything's clicking, we hit the ground rolling. Everybody's playing their assignment. Everybody's playing well. Dak Prescott is doing his thing. TP steps in, takes the role. Our wide receiver core, they got upgraded from last year, so they're balling out, and the defense is a top 3 defense. I have a record if that happens. Obviously, it's hard for an NFL team to have all cylinders clicking. So I think my realistic record will actually happen. But hey, I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm hoping that second record that I'll name becomes realistic. Being a Dallas Cowboy fan, I think that a realistic record will be 12-5. And the reason why I say that is because the past 2 years, we've been 12-5. So why can't that happen again when our roster has improved? Now, last year, I'll be honest with you, I was totally surprised when we finished 12-5. Because last year's training camp, I'm looking at it, when we had that joint practice versus the Denver Broncos, I'm like, yo, we about to be trash. The Denver Broncos was killing us on offense, defense, special teams, coaching, fan-wise. I'm like, this is terrible. We lost Amari Cooper that offseason. We lost some pieces on our offensive line, which really didn't matter if you saw our season last year. Our defense stayed in contact. Our defense was balling out. Shout out to Dan Quinn. But last year, I thought we were going to be terrible, and we somehow finished 12-5. Now, with the roster we have this year, there's no way in the world I'm telling myself that we'll be anything less than 12-5 when we upgrade it. Last year when it came to defense line balled out. Everybody pretty much came back. Linebacker core stayed intact. Damone Clark, shout out to him. He's in year 2. He's going to take that lead role. LVE came through last year. I feel like he'll come through again this year. And of course, Micah Parsons. Our safety room, the 3-headed monster is back. So, there's no question marks in our safety room. Only problem with me, when it came to being a Dallas Cowboy fan last year, was our CB2 position. Anthony Brown stunk it up. Slot corner, Jordan Lewis, he had some good points and some bad points, but he got hurt, and, Deron Bland stepped in, crushed it. So, my only question mark when it came to defense was the CB2 position with Anthony Brown, and we upgraded tremendously when it came to signing Stephon Gilmore. Now, I don't even view Gilmore as a CB2. I view him as a CB1B, maybe even CB1A, because I might have Gilmore ahead of Trayvon Diggs. In my personal opinion, Trayvon Diggs is awesome, but Gilmore, former Defensive Player of the Year, is great. Future Hall of Famer. So, the fact that we upgraded that CB2 position, lights out, I'm very confident in our defense. Now, for the offense side of the ball, like I said in the podcast, our wide receiver core was CeeDee Lamb and a bunch of fast food workers out there. Dak Prescott had no help. And that's the reason why I feel like Dak had a bad year. And that's why he had so many interceptions. He had no receivers to get open for him besides CeeDee Lamb. And CeeDee Lamb was getting triple teamed. So what you think is going to happen if your quarterback has one legit guy, he's getting triple teamed, and everybody else is covered? You got to start fitting balls into tight windows. That's impossible. But no excuses. Dak did have a down year. But hey, like I said, we finished 12-5. How that happened? Somebody got to be good, right? So the fact that we signed Brendan Cooks, our wide receiver core goes from a D to a B+. That fast. Our running back room, Ezekiel Elliott is no longer with us. And I felt like last year we were forced to give him carries because we just paying him so much money. The fact that he's gone, Tony Pollard, who I thought should have been the starting running back, can eat. I'm kind of happy for Pollard because I think he can be a 1,300-yard back. He had 1,000 yards last year and didn't start. So our wide receiver core is upgraded. And like I already mentioned, the running back room, good. Tight ends, we lost Dalton Schultz, but I think Jake Ferguson is just as good as Dalton Schultz. He was so young last year and he produced when Dalton Schultz couldn't play. So, and finally, our offensive line. We bringing everybody back. As of right now, everybody's healthy. You know, last year, Tyron Smith went down in the offseason, so we brought in Jason Peters, and Jason Peters did his thing for us. He wasn't awesome, but he wasn't horrible. He did his thing for us, and he helped us get that 12-5 record. Now we got Tyron Smith, left tackle, great. Tyler Smith, left guard, bulldozer. Right tackle still just got a huge contract. Hopefully he can, before he got hurt last year, he's playing like one of the top right tackles in the game of football. Hopefully, since he got his money, he's been practicing like that, and he doesn't miss a step, hopefully. Then our right guard, 99 overall, Zach Martin. So, our offensive line, I'm very confident right now. And last but not least, our quarterback position. Before last year, Dak did not have a turnover problem. He has one season where he throws 15, 16 interceptions, and everybody writes him off. Josh Allen threw 15, 16 interceptions. Nobody's writing him off. He didn't do anything in the playoffs. But somehow, everybody is writing Dak Prescott off. It's tough having that star on your helmet and being the QB1 of America's team. And I think this year, Dak Prescott is going to prove a lot of people wrong. He's going to have a good season. He's not going to lead the league in passing yards or passing touchdowns. And he's definitely not going to lead the league in interceptions because he has legit wide receiver threats out there now. If you were to ask me, I think Dak Prescott is going to win the Most Improved Player award. Now, I don't think the NFL does that. I think it's called the comeback player. And, you know, I feel like to be a comeback player, you have to come off an injury or something drastic. Well, last year, Geno Smith won the comeback player award, and he wasn't hurt at all. So, if they keep things the same, I can see Dak Prescott winning that award. But comment below your thoughts on what I said thus far. Now, I'm going to get into our schedule. Like I said, I think we'll go 12-5, right? And just looking at the schedule, you know, the 5 losses that come to mind. 1, the Jets. For some reason, Aaron Rodgers has our numbers. He's like the boogeyman towards us. So, I think the Jets will be a loss. I think either the 49ers or Chargers will be a loss. Not both, one or the other. I think we'll get over that 49ers hump. They don't have a quarterback. So, I think Kellen Moore will get his revenge on us, and that will be a loss. I think we'll split with the Eagles this year. Whether it's us being home or them being home, we're going to split with them this year. So that's 3 losses so far. And then the last 2, I think the Bills and the Dolphins, those are going to be tough games for us. Thus making us 12-5. Now when it comes to we're clicking on all cylinders, I had us going 14-3. And it can happen. Think about it, our defense, crazy good. If Dak Prescott can get on the same page as CD and Brandon Cooks and Gallup, does Gallup things, and TP runs behind a healthy O-line, 14-3 can happen. And the 3 losses, if all things are clicking, I still think we'll lose to the Jets because, like I said, Aaron Rodgers, when it comes to Cowboys, he turns into LeBron James. So Aaron Rodgers and the Jets will get us. I think we'll still split with the Eagles and either the Bills or the Dolphins, not both one or the other. So everything goes well. I'm thinking 14-3, but realistically, I'm thinking 12-5. If you're a Cowboy fan, you're just an NFL fan, comment below your true thoughts. And don't be biased. I know a lot of people don't like the Cowboys, but just listen to what I said and try to understand where I'm coming from. And comment below if you like that record or you think it's a bunch of BS and you think we'll suck this year. I don't know. Just comment below your thoughts. Now for individual performances, like I said, I think Dak will win Comeback Player of the Year award. I think he'll throw for about 3,600 yards. I think he'll have north of 30 touchdowns. And I think he'll have between 6 to 8 interceptions. So I think Dak is going to have a really good year. TP, I don't know, because we never seen TP have the full workload. He was popping them last year because everybody was worried about Zeke. So TP came in and as a change of pace back and took off. One play here, one play there. But I do think TP will eclipse the 1,000 yard marker. I think he'll go for about 1,200 yards, maybe to 5 to 7 touchdowns. I think CD is going to go crazy this year. I've been saying it all along. I think CeeDee Lamb can potentially be the best wide receiver in the whole NFL. Each year he has progressed. And each year he's never played with Dak Prescott for every single game. Like I said in previous videos and previous YouTube shorts, his rookie year, he played with 4 different quarterbacks and still almost had 1,000 yards. Second year, he had 1,100 yards, still played with 2 different quarterbacks. Last year, he had almost 1,400 yards and still played with 2 different quarterbacks. If Dak Prescott can stay healthy, I can see CeeDee Lamb getting 1,600 yards easy. Easy. So I think CeeDee Lamb will lead the wide receiver core. I think Brandon Cooks will have a good between 700 and 900 yards. I can see Gallup getting anywhere between 600 and 700 yards. And that's pretty much it from the wide receiver room. Everybody else will have, a couple hundred yards here or there. I don't see any big numbers coming from the tight end room. But on the defense side of the ball, I see Gilmore and Trayvon Diggs locking stuff down. Now, we all know, Cowboy fans, Trayvon Diggs going to give a couple touchdowns on double moves. We just got to get past it, get over it. But I think Gilmore is going to be a great mentor for Diggs to stop some of them double moves. And I think those guys will be locked down. Now, I don't see any crazy numbers when it comes to interceptions, but they'll play good defense. I see Micah Parsons winning Defensive Player of the Year. His first 2 years, he finished second. This is the time to get over that hump and get the award. He's not, I don't know if he's going to be a real big sack number guy, but he's going to affect the game all across the board. Defensive touchdowns, scooping scores, forced fumbles, fumble recoveries. And he'll definitely get double-digit sacks, but I don't know if he's going to be that 16, 17, 18 sack guy. But I see Micah Parsons getting Defensive Player of the Year. And last but not least, how do I see the NFC East unfolding and what will be the Dallas Cowboys' destination come postseason? I see it's hard because I want to say the Eagles are going to win the division, but nobody has won back-to-back in the NFC East division in about 20 years. So just off of that, I think the Cowboys will win the NFC East. Like I see the 12-5 or 14-3. I see the Eagles right behind us, either having the same record or 1 or 2 games below us. And then I think the Giants will be third and the Washington Commanders will be fourth. I think the Giants might make the playoffs or they might miss it by 1 game. And honestly, I think Washington is going to be in the rebuilding stage. And finally, how will the Cowboys do for the 2023 season? I see us definitely making the conference championship. Super Bowl, I don't know. But I think what I saw last year and with that roster, with the additions, it could be scary, man. Why can't we make it this time? Why can't we get over that hump and beat the 49ers? I honestly see us playing the Eagles in the conference championship. And it's gonna be a hard fought game. I don't know who will win. I'm hoping that we'll win, but it's gonna be hard, man. I see us making the conference championship though, and hopefully we'll make it to the Super Bowl. On the AFC, I see either the Bengals or Jets making it out. I don't think the Chiefs will make it out again and repeat. But if all things go right, I see Cowboys, Bengals Super Bowl, and we'll just have to wait and find out.